awakening the gift of inner perception. Imagine for a moment that you've been walking through life with a gift that's hidden right beneath the surface, waiting to be revealed. It's not something you can see with your eyes or touch with your hands, but it's there, quietly guiding you, shaping your experiences in ways you may not even have realized yet. One of the first hidden abilities that proves you are one of God's chosen ones is the gift of inner perception. Now, this isn't just intuition, although intuition plays a part. It's a deeper, almost divine sense of knowing without needing to understand why or how you know. Think about those moments in your life where you felt an unshakable pull in a certain direction, even when logic told you otherwise. Maybe you avoided a situation that later turned out to be dangerous. Or perhaps you felt drawn to a person, only to discover they needed your help at exactly the right time. This ability, this deep inner knowing, is not something everyone possesses, but it's a clear sign that you are chosen for something greater. You are being guided by a force that transcends the material world.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lessons.
Have you ever wondered why you sometimes feel out of place? As if the concerns of this world don't quite resonate with you? Why you can sense the truth behind someone's words, even when they try to hide it? This is because your spirit is finally attuned to the truth. Your inner perception allows you to see through the illusions of the world, whether it's the masks people wear or the superficiality of societal norms. You are not easily deceived because you are chosen to walk a path of clarity, one that requires you to see beyond the surface. But here's the thing, this gift isn't always easy to bear. It can be isolating. You might find that others don't understand you, or that your awareness makes you feel like you're carrying a weight that others don't. But this is part of the journey. God doesn't choose those who are content with superficiality. He chooses those who are willing to dive deep, to look within, and to trust the silent whispers of their soul. And this leads to a profound question. Have you been listening to your inner voice? Or have you been drowning it out with the noise of the world? Are you willing to trust the guidance that comes from within, even when it makes no sense to those around you? This ability is not just a gift, it's a responsibility. As one of God's chosen ones, you are meant to use this perception to guide yourself and others through the labyrinth of life. You are a beacon, and your light shines brightest when you trust in the truth you perceive, even when it challenges the lies the world tries to feed you. So I ask you, how often do you follow that inner voice? And how often do you dismiss it, thinking it's just your imagination? What if that voice is the very thing that's been trying to lead you toward your destiny all along? The power of unwavering faith. If the first hidden ability is inner perception, the second ability that proves you are one of God's chosen ones is the power of unwavering faith. Now, when I say faith, I'm not talking about blind belief or a superficial adherence to doctrine. I'm talking about a faith so deep, so unshakable, that it becomes the foundation of your entire existence. It's the kind of faith that remains strong even when the world around you is crumbling, when you're faced with trials so severe that others would falter. Faith, in its truest form, is not the absence of doubt. It's the ability to move forward even when doubt is present. It's the ability to trust in God's plan, even when that plan doesn't match your own desires or expectations. As one of God's chosen ones, you possess this ability in ways that others may not understand. You've likely experienced moments in your life where everything seemed to be going wrong, where you faced hardships, losses, or challenges that seemed insurmountable. And yet, something within you kept pushing you forward. You didn't give up. You didn't give up. You didn't lose hope. That's faith. But here's where it gets even deeper. Your faith is not just for you. It's meant to be shared. You are a living example of what it means to trust in the unseen, to believe in the goodness of God, even when life's circumstances suggest otherwise. People around you may not understand how you can still have faith, how you can still find peace in the midst of chaos, but that's precisely why you've been chosen. You are here to be a living testament to the power of faith. And here's the catch: this faith isn't something you were born with fully formed. No, it's been forged in the fires of your trials. Every time you faced adversity and chose to keep believing, your faith grew stronger. Every time you were knocked down and got back up, your connection to God deepened. This is why your life has been filled with challenges. You were never meant to have it easy, because easy lives don't produce strong faith. But now, after all you've been through, your faith is like a rock. It's unmovable, and it's one of the clearest signs that you are chosen. But let me ask you this: have you been using your faith to its fullest potential? Have you been sharing it with others, lifting them up when they're down, showing them what it means to trust in something greater than themselves? Or have you kept it hidden, afraid that others won't understand? If you are chosen, then your faith is not just for you. It's a tool, a light that you are meant to shine for others who are lost in the darkness. So I ask you, how bright is your light shining right now? Are you using your faith to its fullest extent? Or are you holding back, afraid of what others might think? The calling to transform the world. The third and final hidden ability that proves you are one of God's chosen ones is perhaps the most powerful of all: the calling to transform the world. This is not a metaphorical calling. It's real, tangible, and it's something you've likely felt for a long time, even if you haven't fully understood it. You see, being chosen by God isn't just about personal growth or spiritual enlightenment. It's about making a difference in the world. It's about stepping into your role as a leader, a guide, and a force for change. You may not realize it, but every action you take, every decision you make, has the potential to ripple out and affect countless lives. As one of God's chosen ones, you have been given the ability to see the world not as it is, but as it could be. You have the vision to imagine a better future, a future filled with love, kindness, and justice, and you have the strength to work toward that future, even when the odds are stacked against you. But this calling isn't easy. It requires sacrifice. It requires stepping out of your comfort zone and taking on responsibilities that others might shy away from. It requires standing up for what is right, even when it's unpopular, even when it costs you something. But here's the thing: you were built for this. God doesn't choose the weak or the timid to lead His mission. He chooses those who have been tested, those who have proven that they can handle the weight of the world on their shoulders. And so, I ask you, are you ready to step into your calling? Are you ready to embrace the role you've been chosen for? Are you ready to transform the world, one action at a time, one life at a time? You've been given everything you need: the inner perception to see the truth, the faith to keep moving forward, and the strength to lead others toward the light. Now, it's up to you to decide: will you answer the call? This is your moment. This is your time. You are one of God's chosen ones, and the world is waiting for you to step into your power. Will you rise to the challenge? Will you use your gifts to make a difference? Or will you let fear hold you back? The choice is yours. The courage to walk alone. As we continue on this journey of uncovering the hidden abilities that prove you are one of God's chosen ones, there's something crucial we need to address: the courage to walk alone. Yes, I know, this might sound daunting. But the truth is, being chosen often means walking a path that not everyone will understand or support. In fact, it's almost guaranteed that at some point you will feel isolated, misunderstood, even rejected by those around you. But this is not a sign of failure. This is a sign that you are on the right path. God doesn't call you to blend in with the crowd. He calls you to stand out, and standing out often means standing alone. Think of the prophets, the saints, the spiritual leaders throughout history. They were not loved by all. Many of them were scorned, ridiculed, and persecuted. But they had something that kept them moving forward: the knowledge that they were walking in alignment with a divine purpose. That same knowledge rests within you. Now, this hidden ability, the courage to walk alone, is one of the most challenging to embrace because, as human beings, we naturally crave connection and belonging. The idea of being outcast or going against the grain terrifies many people. But if you are truly one of God's chosen ones, you will find that your mission requires you to defy the status quo. You are not here to conform, you are here to transform, and transformation often comes with resistance. But there's something beautiful in this solitary journey. When you walk alone, you develop a direct and intimate relationship with God. You no longer rely on the opinions of others to validate your existence or your choices. You stop seeking approval from the world and start seeking approval from the divine. This is where true freedom lies: freedom from the judgments, expectations, and limitations that society tries to impose on you. And here's where we get to the heart of it: walking alone doesn't mean you are actually alone. In fact, when you embrace this path, you become more connected to God than ever before. You start to realize that the people who leave you, the ones who misunderstand you, were never meant to walk with you in the first place. They were part of the old chapter of your life, and now you are stepping into something new, something higher. You are ascending spiritually, and not everyone can keep up with that pace. So let me ask you, are you afraid of standing alone? Are you clinging to relationships, situations, or beliefs that no longer serve your higher purpose? What would happen if you let go of everything that is holding you back? Could you find the courage to walk alone, knowing that in doing so you are walking with God? This is not an easy question, but it's one that every chosen one must eventually face. The path ahead may feel lonely, but it is not void of meaning or connection. Every step you take in solitude brings you closer to your divine mission. And soon you will find that the right people, the ones who are truly aligned with your purpose, will join you on that path. But first, you must be willing to walk it alone. The next hidden ability that proves you are one of God's chosen ones is divine resilience. It's the supernatural strength that allows you to keep going when others would have quit. It's an inner fortress, a wellspring of energy that doesn't come from the physical world but from a higher source. You've probably felt it before, those moments when you thought you couldn't take another step, when the weight of the world seemed too heavy, and yet, somehow, you found the strength to carry on. That's divine resilience at work. This ability is not something that you develop overnight. It's forged through adversity, through the trials and tribulations that you've faced in your life. Every hardship, every setback, every challenge you've encountered has been preparing you for this moment. You were never meant to have an easy life, because easy lives don't produce strong souls, and your soul is strong. Divine resilience is what allows you to rise from the ashes, to rebuild when everything has been taken from you, to keep moving forward even when the future is uncertain. It's what gives you the strength to forgive when you've been wronged, to love when your heart has been broken, and to trust in God's plan when everything seems to be falling apart. But here's the thing about resilience: it's not just about surviving, it's about thriving. It's about using the challenges you've faced as fuel for your growth. It's about transforming pain into power, obstacles into opportunities, and setbacks into stepping stones. When you have divine resilience, you don't just bounce back from hardship, you rise higher than you were before. Think about your own life. Think about the times when you felt like giving up, when the road ahead seemed too hard, and yet, here you are, you made it through. That's no accident. That's no coincidence. You were chosen because God knew you had the strength to endure, and not just to endure, but to overcome. So I ask you, how are you using your resilience? Are you allowing it to propel you forward, or are you allowing the weight of your past to hold you back? What if every single challenge you faced was meant to prepare you for something bigger, something greater? How would you approach your life if you knew that every hardship was a stepping stone toward your destiny? As one of God's chosen ones, you are not meant to be defeated by life's circumstances. You are meant to rise above them. You are meant to use your resilience to inspire others, to show them that it is possible to overcome, to thrive, even in the face of adversity. The final hidden ability that we'll uncover is perhaps the most powerful one of all: the gift of divine love. Divine love is not the same as the love we experience in human relationships. It is unconditional, unwavering, and all-encompassing. It's the love that God has for you, and it's the love that you are called to share with the world. This love is not always easy to give. It requires you to transcend your ego, to forgive those who have hurt you, and to love those who may not deserve it. But as one of God's chosen ones, you have been given the capacity to love in a way that goes beyond human understanding. You are called to be a vessel for divine love, to spread it to every person you encounter, to every corner of the world. Think about the times in your life when you've been hurt, betrayed, or wronged. How did you respond? Did you close your heart, or did you find the strength to love anyway? Divine love is not about being a doormat or allowing others to take advantage of you. It's about loving from a place of strength, from a place of knowing that your love is limitless because it comes from God. This love heals. It transforms. It changes the world. And you, as one of God's chosen ones, are here to be a carrier of that love. You are here to remind people of their own divinity, of their own connection to something greater. Your love is a bridge that connects the human with the divine. So I leave you with this question: how are you showing divine love in your life? Are you holding back because you're afraid of being hurt? Or are you allowing yourself to be a vessel for God's love, knowing that it is the most powerful force in the universe? You are one of God's chosen ones, and these hidden abilities are not just gifts, they are responsibilities. Use them wisely. Use them to transform your life and the lives of those around you. The world is waiting for you to step into your power, to rise to your calling. Are you ready to answer that call? Now that we've uncovered these hidden abilities, inner perception, unwavering faith, the courage to walk alone, divine resilience, and the gift of divine love, there's one final aspect of your journey as one of God's chosen ones that we need to explore: embracing your role as a divine leader. Being chosen means that you are not just here to experience these gifts for yourself. You are here to lead, to guide, and to uplift others. You see, the world is often in chaos because it lacks true leadership that comes from a place of love, wisdom, and spiritual alignment. And this is where you come in. Whether you realize it or not, God has placed this mantle of leadership on your shoulders. It may not be in the traditional sense of leading a group, a company, or even a nation, but you are meant to lead by example, to be a living embodiment of the divine principles that the world so desperately needs. Leadership, in this sense, is not about power or control. It's about service. It's about dedicating your life to something greater than yourself. And this is where many people falter. They equate leadership with authority or recognition, but true divine leadership is often quiet, humble, and unseen by the masses. It's about the little things: how you treat others, how you navigate the challenges of life, how you choose to respond in moments of crisis. But make no mistake, this role is not for the faint of heart. Being a divine leader means you will be tested. You will face opposition, criticism, and doubt, not just from others, but from within yourself. There will be moments when you question whether you are capable, whether you are worthy, whether you are enough. And this is where the depth of your faith and resilience will come into play. Because you are enough. You have been chosen precisely because you have what it takes to lead, even when it feels impossible. Now, let me ask you this: how are you stepping into this role? Are you shying away from your responsibility because it feels too heavy? Or are you embracing it with open arms, trusting that God will give you the strength you need? What would happen if you fully accepted your role as a leader, in whatever form it takes, and allowed your life to be a beacon for others? You see, the world needs more leaders who lead not from their egos, but from their souls. Leaders who are guided by love, by truth, by justice. Leaders who are willing to walk the harder path because they know it's the right one. And as one of God's chosen ones, this is the path you are being called to walk. You have been given the gifts, the abilities, the wisdom, and the strength to fulfill this role. The question is, are you ready to step into it? To fully embrace your role as a divine leader, you must also cultivate what I call spiritual mastery. This is the process of aligning your mind, body, and spirit with the divine in such a way that your entire being becomes a reflection of God's love and light. Spiritual mastery is not about perfection. It's about progress. It's about becoming so in tune with your soul and with God's purpose for your life that you are able to move through the world with grace, wisdom, and power. This mastery comes from a deep commitment to your spiritual growth. It's about dedicating time each day to connect with the divine, whether through prayer, meditation, reflection, or simply being still and listening. It's about becoming aware of your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions, and constantly asking yourself, are these in alignment with my highest self? Are these in alignment with God's purpose for me? But here's the thing: spiritual mastery is not just an internal process. It's reflected in how you engage with the world. It's in how you treat others, how you approach challenges, and how you navigate the ups and downs of life. As you cultivate this mastery, You begin to realize that life's difficulties are not obstacles but opportunities for growth. Every challenge you face is an invitation to deepen your connection with the divine and to refine your soul. This is where many people get stuck. They see challenges as setbacks, as things to be avoided or feared. But as one of God's chosen ones, you are called to see them differently. You are called to embrace challenges as teachers, as stepping stones on your path to spiritual mastery. The more you cultivate this mindset, the more you will find that nothing in life can truly shake you. You become grounded, anchored in your faith, and resilient in the face of whatever life throws your way. So I ask you, how are you cultivating your spiritual mastery? Are you taking the time to connect with God each day, to listen to the inner guidance that is always available to you? Or are you getting caught up in the distractions of the world, allowing external circumstances to dictate your inner peace? What would happen if you made a commitment right now to prioritize your spiritual growth above all else? This is not about withdrawing from the world. It's about engaging with the world from a place of spiritual alignment. When you cultivate spiritual mastery, you become a force of love, of wisdom, of peace, and of transformation. And this is what the world needs most right now. It needs people who are not swayed by fear, by anger, or by division. It needs people who are grounded in their connection to the divine and who are able to bring that light into every situation they encounter. Finally, the ultimate hidden ability that proves you are one of God's chosen ones is the ability to become a channel for divine will. This is the highest calling, the deepest level of spiritual alignment. It's when you fully surrender your ego, your desires, your plans, and allow God's will to flow through you. It's when you recognize that your life is not your own, but a vessel for something much greater. This is not an easy path. Surrendering to divine will means letting go of control. It means trusting that God knows what is best for you, even when it doesn't make sense to your logical mind. It means being willing to follow where you are led, even when the path ahead is unclear. But here's the profound truth: when you surrender to divine will, you will find a peace, a joy, and a fulfillment that you could never have imagined. You are no longer fighting against the current of life. You are flowing with it, trusting that every step is guided, every choice is blessed, and every moment is an opportunity for growth and service. As one of God's chosen ones, you are called to be a channel for this divine will. You are called to let go of your small, limited self and step into the vast, infinite self that is connected to God. This is where true power lies, not in controlling your life, but in allowing yourself to be an instrument of God's love, wisdom, and grace. So I leave you with this final question: are you willing to fully surrender to divine will? Are you willing to let go of your need for control and trust that God's plan for your life is far greater than anything you could imagine? What would happen if you stopped resisting and started allowing God to work through you in every moment, in every decision, in every interaction? This is the ultimate test of faith. And as one of God's chosen ones, you are being called to pass this test, to step into your true role as a channel for divine will, and to live a life that is in perfect alignment with God's purpose. The world is waiting for you to rise. God is waiting for you to answer the call. Are you ready to step into your destiny? The time is now.